Video. Dim. Stop recording video. Button.
Hello. Well, loads of people ask me how I put my makeup on and did my hair. So, I'm going to show you. Hi. These are what I wear in the house as well when I'm watching TV that close. Or I'm supposed to wear them outside. Anyway, I always do my own hair. And I use heated rollers, which right behind me. So, I'm going to try and answer the questions that I get asked me a lot. Now, a lot of people ask me, how long have I been registered blind? Well, I've been registered blind now 8 years. I was registered partially sighted before. Sorry you can't see me. And what happened? Oh, they all want to know how it happened. Well, I had a condition called cone rod dystrophy, which is genetic. And it would have happened, but not until later on in life, and probably not as bad. But in 1998, I got progressive breast cancer. Ooh. And I always remember the year. Well, it was the year Princess Diana died, so I had my treatment in 1998. And it was after I had the treatment, I noticed I could still read them, but I couldn't make out people's faces. It was really odd. I was living in Kent at the time. And then when I was driving, I just couldn't see the road. And yet when I went for an eye test, my eyes were all right because I could see. And it's because it's called cone rod dystrophy. And what happens is your cones go first, or your rods. In my case, my cones went. And that takes out your field of vision, you know, like curly contrast. Anyway, cut a long story short, I was living in Kent, I was married. We moved back to Manchester. And 5 years after that, the cancer came back. And I had to have more treatment. Oh, ouch. And after I had the treatment, whilst I was having it, my eyes just seemed to go worse and worse. I have to remember where I put everything. And it was a nightmare. Then I went from, oh, where's my, oh yeah, I just put normal water on when I'm doing this. I went from seeing a little bit and being able to read, that then my reading vision was going. And it just got worse and worse. So I got tested, and they reckon that the chemotherapy triggered off a genetic condition. Now, this won't happen. Let me put these over here because I've got my clips here. I'm struggling. Slips there. I've got to keep everything together. Don't worry, because this won't happen to anyone that's had breast cancer. You know, you won't go blind after the treatment. It's just that I was unlucky. And then eventually I lost the ability to read. And people ask me how much you can see. Well, during the day, in these hot days, you know, this lovely weather, oh, it's a nightmare. Because when I go outside, it's just like looking at a field of cotton wool. And as it goes darker, I can sort of make out things. In my house, I know where everything is. I mean, if you see me in my kitchen, I know it sounds crazy, even little things, I know exactly where everything is. But if you move it, oh my God, well, do I go mad then? Here's move me little bearing knife. And people leave stuff on the floor or trip over it. And quite often, I always forget when people come round because I sit in the dark. If we're watching TV at night, or the TV, what I can see, if I go that close to it, I have to put either these glasses on the other ones. Otherwise, my eyes really, really water. I can make out certain things. And sometimes on my iPad, because it's got a retinal display and there's one face, you know, if it's clear, I can actually see. So that's why sometimes I can make out what you look like. So I'm not bullying you when I say, oh, you look gorgeous. But I can't differentiate between my sons. So like, if my sons come in and they're all different, I never know which one it is because they all sound the same as well. And sometimes when I'm shouting at one of them and it's not him, he takes it on. He takes it for his brother. Like that. And another thing, But they normally, what Freddie does, ouch, when I'm telling them off, they leave their coat there on the sofa. So, you know, because the contrast has changed, so I know that there's something there. And I carry on talking to the coatware there upstairs, laughing while I'm still telling them off. Like that. I want to go up, it's like a coat. They're upstairs. So that's the question everyone asks. And sometimes it's harder. I mean, it's like when I'm on Corrie and I sit in the cabin. That's where I sit in the cabin. That's like the empty shell of the cabin inside. It's where the artists sit. Oh, and people come in, they go, "Hi Annie." They might say, "Oh, it's Tez." Go, "Hi Tez." But then he'll go out and come back in again and go, "Hi Annie." I go, "Who is it?" He went, "It's Tez." And I think because I look at people, they say, "Oh, you look at me." And it's like, with my drinks as well, oh God, you can't take me alcohol. Won't be tied anyone that touches my drink. It's like when someone puts a glass in front of me, because the contrast has changed, there's like a blur, so I know it's my drink. And that's why I can go straight to it. If I'm outside, like in Spain, I love Macava. And if I'm outside, these are heated rollers, by the way. If I'm outside, I can't see any glasses at all, especially with carvering. So I break more glasses than anything. I don't like spilling my drink as well. So, oh. I don't like to eat outside as well because I chase things around my plate. It's like potluck and one we're going to get in my mouth. I remember once we were all eating and we'd had fish and it was outside and I squeezed the lemon on it and then I put my fork in, I was pretending I could see it and I put the lemon in my mouth. And said, "Do you see that lemon?" "Oh yeah, it's nice." And I took it out again. I picked it up again and kept putting the same lemon in my mouth. Until eventually, I think it was Freddie realised that I was struggling and he took the lemon off me and put it away so I could eat my dinner. Right, that's my rollers in. Right, and so that should answer your questions. And I have had a reconstruction, a breast reconstruction. Still painful, trust me to get it wrong, but... And people ask me how I handled the sight loss so good. Well, I don't. I mean, honest to God, you think, "Oh, she's doing great." I do have my off days. I mean, like this week I've been a bit off, not wanting to go out, and I make excuses not to go out because I just get nervous and I get in this panic. But I was awful because I'm putting this is my Boots foundation. I put it on with a brush because Helen King, the makeup girl at Granada, put my makeup for me. She put it on with a brush. And I've just washed my brush as well because this morning said you've got to wash your brush because it's full of germs. Where's Quinny? Hello Quinny, alright? Quinn's on the bed, can you see him? Yeah, Quinn, yeah, come here. Say hello, this is Mr. Quinn. But before Mr. Quinn come along, I tell you, my sons used to take me out and they used to say up a step, down a step, you know, when I come to any obstacles. And people used to think I was drunk. I go in a pub and you do the blind shuffle and you're trying to feel the steps. I said, "Shoes on a few." I even got refused in one pub. I hadn't even had a drink. I bought a bottle of champagne for, we're celebrating one of my son's birthdays. And I said, "Where's the toilet?" I said, "Look, bottle of champagne." And I come out the toilet like that. They said, "Come on, we're going." I said, "Why?" Anyway, before it all kicked off, because one of my sons gets really cross. And they said she was drunk, and they said she's not drunk, she's blind. They said she's not blind, she's drunk. I used to have to carry a cymbal cane, but now I can't go anywhere without either my dog or the white stick. But before I could get my dog, I had to use the white stick, so I had to go on this training because I applied for a guide dog. You see, by this time, my son was growing up. Freddie was, you know, getting old at school. He didn't want to walk downtown with his mum. And Gerard was at college and Charlie left home. So I had to, and I've always been an outgoing person, so I got my white stick. I was dead excited. I did my training and I wanted to prove to the boys that I was still the same person I always had been. And they'd get ready, go to college, I'd get ready, do my hair and everything. And then I'd get my white stick and I'd get to the gate and I just used to panic. I was scared, so I used to come back in the house and lie on the settee and I'd go to sleep and cry. And then when my son's come home from school, he's pretended I'd been out. Had a great day, and I hadn't been out at all. I'd just been on the sofa. But then Tricky Knickers came along, and I couldn't believe it. It was a knock on the door one day, and I opened the door, and this is another thing people ask. And I said, oh, what's his name? They said Quinn. I said, what's his real name? They said Mr. Quinn. And my name's Annie Giles-Quinn. This is my blusher. Same old blusher. Same old, same old. And it's been absolutely amazing. And when I say amazing, I mean amazing. I go everywhere. I do get a lot of help. People are so kind. When I go into the shops, when I find the counter, they'll take me around shopping. To be honest, I'd rather go around with the assistants than my sons. Because when I go around with my friend, he's like that on his phone. And unless it's something he wants, he's like not paying any attention. When you go with the shopping assistants, they said they like coming around with me because I'm funny. And it gets them out of having to stack the shelves. So he saved my life, and he is. Oh shit! I'm just following my eyelid round. It's a girl, young girl on the net, and she puts her own makeup on. She's 21. She's blind. She does it dead professional. Our sister helps her do it all right, but I just put the same rubbish on. I think this is bright. I wish I could put different colours in and know how to do it, but I can't. So, oh, what am I doing now? Where's the mascara? So what was to say? So I've never looked back, and honest to God, life with my Mr. Quinn is amazing. And like I said, I still have my off days, you know. Like I said, I've been a bit off this week, and I make excuses not to go out. I don't put a lot of mascara on. Hand's a bit shaky. Why have I gone all shaky? It's not the booze, is it? It's the first time you've seen me without red wine, but it's too early even for me. Then I've got my lipstick, and Helen King put lipstick on with a brush, so I bought myself a brush. Anyway, I'm going to go into town. Just me and Quinny, aren't we, Quinny? Quinn, are you alright, baby? He's not supposed to sleep on the bed. This dog is not on the bed. Yeah, so I'm just going to go walk into town and then call in the pub. Where else? Because I've not been out all week. Like I said, I've had one of those weeks where I have panic attacks. I never know if my makeup looks alright, but this is the best I can do. And then I just take my rollers out. Hey, my Freddie's 21 on Thursday, 21 years old. It's nearly 21 years since I was in that hospital on the Castaner, screaming for an epidural. Oh, I can't believe it. I was going to go away to see my Auntie Jo, but there's only me and Freddie at home now, and he needs me. People say to me, oh, you'd be lost without him. Lost without him. I do all his cooking, his washing, I pick up after him, I have to sort the garden out, but oh, I do love him. He does give me a lift every now and again. But he's good fun, and he's turning into his mum. Do you know what he said to me once? Because I'm always looking for any genetic things. I'm registered with the genetic clinic.
Screen locked.
And he said to me, oh, how's that? He said to me, oh, Mum, I don't think I'd like it if you could see. I said, why not? He said, you won't be as funny. I said, I've always been funny. I've always been funny. Anyway, that's me doing my makeup, and that's it. That's how I put it on now. It might not be perfect, but it's the best I can do. So goodbye. Oh dear, how do I turn it off?
Stop recording video. Stop recording video. Stop recording video.